Hey, good morning, guys. I got in a discussion with an individual on Facebook, and it prompted a few questions. Everybody wants to bitch about the police, and you've got to face the facts. Ever since the Obama administration came in, he did nothing for this country. He did nothing for the administration except for himself by becoming the first black president. He set race relations back 70 years. They didn't want them using horses at the border because they claimed they were beating the illegals coming across the border. They don't want them using pepper spray, batons, stun guns, tasers, spike strips, even foot pursuit has been banned in some states. You know, pit maneuvers you have to have approval. High speed chases have been banned in some states. Choke codes. Of course, you can't choke anybody. You control the head, you control the body, but that's beside the point. You know, if you can't see, stand, breathe, you can't fight. But as long as you can talk, you can breathe. But, you know, people want to use all of that. Okay, you don't take all that away from the cops. Why? What choice are you leaving them but to go hands on with you and beat the brakes off of you or use deadly force and shoot you? What choice are you leaving? It's not like the wild, wild west like your current administration wants to play that says shoot them in the leg. You got an adrenaline dump. You've been chasing somebody on foot for 5 minutes. You're shaky. You really think you're going to be able to draw that weapon and shoot somebody in the leg that's in a place where it's not going to hit the femoral artery and they're going to bleed out only in 15 minutes or less? 3 minutes or less? I mean, let's get real. You know, the real problem is that people don't want to accept or admit responsibility or accountability for their own actions, their own behaviors, their own choices, their own decisions. If they could, you wouldn't need the police anyway. People hate authority of any kind today. The police, the military, security guards, your teachers. Your teachers are being beaten down in school. Even the parents. When a 12-year-old child comes home and they get their phone taken away from them for sexting and they proceed to tear the house apart, and then they call 911, and the first questions the cop asks the child when they get there is, did your mother hit you? And children have more rights than the parents. And that's the parents' fault. Because what's raising your kids today is the government, the teachers, the TVs, the video games. That's who's in charge of your kids today. And then you wonder why there's no respect. And, if a cop is wrong, I'll point it out. If a criminal is wrong, I'll point it out. Then my favorite expression is that if you point it out, you're a bootlicker. That's just another word for saying that they hate the cops and they hate any form of authority until it's their child being trafficked, until it's their child being kidnapped, until it's their house burning down, until it's their spouse having a heart attack, and then they want to call 911. Now they're hating on firefighters for the way they saved an individual's life. They couldn't get through the door because the place was so cluttered and so crowded they couldn't get in the door. So they had to chop holes in the wall, and they had to actually pull victims out by the arms One guy had a third-degree burns. Instead of "thank you for saving my life," it's "I wouldn't treat an animal that way." So, what do you really expect?